All right, what is up, y'all? Jerry here, the hoodie, back with another daily live stream on Underdog Fantasy. We're going to jump right in. You know what it is. Waiting for two more people in this lobby. Hopefully, we can get it filled pretty quick. One more person now. That's sweet. And man, I just saw a nice little surprise. I had 7 subscribers this morning and I just saw I'm at 24. So I'm pretty hyped about that, man. Almost quadruple my subscriber count. Pick number 5. Cool. NFL official. Yeah. I don't know if I got a shout out maybe from Mr. PPR Tyler. I was talking with him today about doing a stream this Thursday, which I'm quite excited for. Finally be able to stream with someone else, bounce some things off of, not just rant my same biased perspectives to myself over and over again. So I think that'll be a lot of fun. And I'm looking forward to that quite a bit. So we'll get this going real quick. I just got back from the gym. Nice little rehab day. Doing some shoulder work just to, get everything a little more strong and together. Sipping what the fuck? My kitty's going crazy, man. I love having my kitties in my corner. Sipping on that kombucha. All right. Let's lock into the draft now. Pick number 5. I like the top 5. We get one of these guys. I think there is a clear top 4, and then JSN just feels like number 5, but we'll take that. I'll be happy with it. Unless something strange goes on. Can't believe we're drafting with the NFL. The entire league. Pretty legendary. Got some news today about Mike Evans, and that he will be testing free agency most likely and not be a member of the Bucs anymore, which I kind of anticipated, and a big reason why I have been absolutely smashing Jalen McMillan. Pause. But I think that opens up a lot of opportunity for Tampa Bay, especially with Igbokwe and Jalen McMillan. So I'm excited for that. I don't know where Mike Evans will go. Likely a contender. Probably the Ravens, if I had to guess, because he is old and the Ravens like old people. So, yeah. Pretty standard first round so far right here. Nothing noteworthy. Might actually be exactly just ADP, which is kind of boring. Hopefully this gets a little spicy later on. Oh, shoot. We got 8 people in here. That's the most I've had. Shout out to you guys. Appreciate it. Joining me on a Tuesday night. Best ball on call. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. How do you guys feel about Devon Achane? Because after the Miami Dolphins have released Tyreek Hill, James Daniels, and Bradley Chubb, seems pretty clear that they're just going full rebuild mode. A little tank for Tua number 2, although we see how that worked out the first time. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the Dolphins this year. I could definitely see them drafting a receiver in the first round as well, which doesn't make me too optimistic about Jalen Waddle. But in the 5th round, that feels okay. Although Devon Achane in the first round, I don't know. Can see them playing from behind a lot. He does catch passes, but the defensive-minded head coach kind of makes me a little hesitant there. And new coordinators all around. I'm a Lions fan, and I learned the hard way that new coordinators do matter. Okay, Malik Neighbors goes. I was kind of hoping he would fall to us. We went a receiver in the first round, so I'm going to go with a running back. Could go with Saquon Barkley, but I'm going to get Chase Brown. I like Chase Brown. Been a fan of him for a while. Made me a lot of money 2 years ago, so thank you for that. Saquon, the Eagles just got some bad vibes right now. You know, their offensive line coach resigned, and he was there for a long time. And there's reports that Landon Dickerson and Lane Johnson might retire. And if one of them does, that's not good. If both of them do, that's really not good. Yeah, expert analysis right there. But offensive lineman retiring equals bad. And Saquon really regressed last year. Had a lot of success on just breaking long touchdown runs. And even if the tush push gets banned, I don't really think that changes much. You can still run a QB sneak, and it's not that different. So Saquon still going to get cucked at the 1 yard line. Also, it's kind of hard to imagine he has a worse year than last year. But yeah. Chase Brown, I like him. Fellow Canadian as well. We always like that. Could see how it affected the Lions with Ragnow. Yeah, absolutely. Like losing Frank Ragnow just absolutely sucked. And you know what really sucks is how much I got my hopes up when he said he was coming back. But this man still had a torn hamstring. Like Frank Ragnow is a wild man. Absolute stud though. Okay. Chris Olave gets taken. I'm going to go with Breece Hall. Doesn't excite me too much if he's on the Jets still. Although I think there was a report that came out saying that they're unlikely to use their franchise tag, which makes me a little more optimistic. And I could see him just really not wanting to re-sign with the Jets, even if they throw a bag at him. So 3rd round, we'll take that. But yeah, I'm really hoping that the Lions, and I expect them to draft offensive line early in the draft. I don't really know about free agency. Free agent offensive linemen are very expensive unless we want to go with a veteran again. Like when we got Kevin Zeitler the other year, that worked out pretty well. Kind of wish we didn't let him walk in free agency. But Tate Ratledge will be another year older in the league. Really hoping Taylor Decker doesn't retire either, because that would be a massive loss. Not just on the offensive line, but in the locker room as well. He's the longest tenured Detroit Lion. He survived Matt Patricia, and that's saying something. So Taylor Decker, I really hope he sticks around. Absolute warrior. And yeah, he dealt with some real bad injuries this past year. But I'm very, very optimistic on the Lions this year. I'm optimistic on the Lions every year, but Drew Petzing, good vibes. A lot of question marks when he got hired. Like, oh, why not Mike McDaniel? But I trust Dan Campbell and his decision making and his judge of character. And if you think Petzing is the right fit, I'm with it. Saw James Conner revitalize his career under Petzing. And they had like no running backs this past year in Arizona. So it's hard to really judge that. But I think the running game gets back on track in Detroit. And man, just look how Jacoby Brissett played. Like he didn't win a single game, but Jacoby Brissett was balling out with a pretty terrible situation. Sam Laporta, yeah, I think Sam Laporta is a great value, and I am smashing him. Pause. Okay, 1 pick away right now. NFL goes with Colston Loveland. Devonta Smith or Emeka Egbuka are going to be my picks here. I'm going to go with Devonta Smith. I don't think I've drafted him too much. We'll mix him in. And Jalen Hurts in the 6th round feels like a good pick, a good value. Like that's the latest Jalen Hurts has ever gone, I think. And he still runs the ball. He gets his touchdowns. I'm cool with that. Yeah, Sam Laporta, phenomenal value. As long as he stays healthy. A back injury is nothing to really squint at. That's like back injuries are serious, but Sam Laporta, absolute dog, going into a contract year, going to be involved, used in the red zone, in like where does he usually go? Like the 8th round? Come on now. I also like getting just 2 tight ends when I get Sam Laporta and trying to really strengthen those other positions. Would have been nice if Carnell Tate came back. I like drafting him. We were talking about Jalen Waddle earlier, but I'm just going to go with these rookies. Go with the lemon because I feel like the rookies are just going to start rising soon. We see it every year. The rookies always rise throughout the offseason. And Carnell Tate, Mekhi Lemon, frequently mocked in the top 10 of NFL mock drafts. Kind of a 1A, 1B as far as who is the better prospect. A lot of people have Carnell Tate for his kind of just overall ability as a wide receiver, downfield threat, big playmaker. Mekhi Lemon, frequently comped to Amon-Ra St. Brown, similar to Jackson Smith and Jigba, Emeka Egbuka. And we've seen these guys just have a lot of success early on in their careers in the NFL. So it's an archetype that I like quite a bit. Now, who took AJ Brown? This guy, old man game. He's playing the old man game. So Jalen Hurts is still available. We'll queue him up because I'll be happy to take Jalen Hurts with the next pick. What's up? New to the grind. Good to see you. Keep it up. Thanks, Off the Schneid Football. Appreciate it. I've only been streaming for like 3 weeks, so I'm still getting in my groove, figuring things out. But man, I'm having fun. I'm a football nerd. I've been loving fantasy football for like I don't know, 15 years now, maybe a little less, but I love this shit. And it's fun streaming, fun talking about this. And as I get some more people engaged in the stream, it makes it a lot more fun for me too. So yeah, hopefully this keeps up. And I'm really looking forward to streaming with Tyler on Thursday. It'll be actually fun collabing with someone and bouncing some ideas off. I actually haven't watched a single stream of his this off season yet, mainly because I really have wanted to not take in any outside information and just find my own perspectives and opinions early on and not get too clouded by other people's takes on players. Do your thing. My advice is always stream for yourself and then have fun with it. Yeah, that's my plan too. Like, one thing I always like to say is do it for yourself first. I think that's really important. You know, I really haven't advertised this at all. I made like a Twitter account if anyone wants to follow Jiri Football on Twitter, but I don't have any posts yet, so don't get too excited. But I'm not trying to get too ahead of myself. I'm not trying to advertise this or blow up overnight. I'm really just doing this for fun and I'm having fun. So I'm going to keep doing it. Okay, Jaylen Warren, that feels a little expensive. Can definitely see Pittsburgh bringing in competition at running back, especially if Aaron Rodgers comes back and they're just going to plan on going all in again. Didn't work out so well this past year, but I do expect Aaron Rodgers to return for one more year. They brought in Mike McCarthy, a familiar head coach, and I think the offensive line coach that they brought in is good friends with Aaron Rodgers as well. So could be just another reason. He's an ultra competitor too, absolute psychopath. So those guys don't want to hang it up early. And if he has it in him, I think he's going to come back and play. Someone who I am happy to backstack with when I want a third quarterback as well. Couple quarterbacks going. We'd like to see that after we took Jalen Hurts. Now, Ramondre's there. I haven't drafted a ton of him, but I want to go with another receiver. I like Ricky Pearsall quite a bit. And if he stays healthy, he's an absolute smash at pick 77. Ricky Pearsall was one of my higher drafted players last year, and that would have been a great pick had he stayed healthy. Unfortunately, he did not. But going into this next year in San Francisco, there's even less target competition. You have George Kittle, who's in his 30s now and coming off an Achilles injury, certainly going to miss at least the first few games, if not first half of the year. And when he comes back, it's hard to imagine he's back to his full form kind of ever again at that age with his injury history. Juwan Jennings, a free agent. Not sure if he'll get re-signed. I could see them bringing him back for another year or two. Locker room guy, blocker, tone setter. And Brandon Ayuk, we all know what's going on with Brandon Ayuk. So kind of just leaves Ricky Pearsall. Has dealt with injuries his first 2 seasons. I don't think getting shot really counts. But in college, I believe he dealt with some injuries as well. However, it's February, so we're not really going to be predicting injuries. We're just going to be betting on talent and trying to get unique teams that we won't be able to draft later in the offseason, especially if you're like me. And I mean, shoot, if anyone else is watching in February drafting these teams, I'm sure you're going to be drafting throughout the offseason as well. So try and find those players that you're just not going to be able to get those combinations later in the offseason. Okay. Man, Harold Fannin, I don't think I've been able to draft him a single time. I was excited before these drafts opened. I thought Harold Fannin was going to be going like round 9, round 10, and I was going to get a ton of him, but it just feels so expensive. When I can get like Tucker Kraft and Sam Laporta, Kyle Pitts after him, it makes it pretty hard to click. Although I will have to find some ways to mix him in as well. I'm going to queue up Sam Laporta. We were talking about him earlier, and we don't have a tight end. None of these guys really stand out. Diggs, I'm not drafting at all. I'm not drafting Diggs whatsoever. Tony Pollard, Michael Pittman could be a good value. DJ Moore, I think, is a good value. So if you're desperate for wide receiver in this range, could definitely go there. But I want to get some Sam Laporta. Michael Pittman goes. So if we wanted a receiver, we could go DJ Moore. However, I'm going to get the tight end because now we have a potentially elite quarterback in Jalen Hurts, potentially elite tight end in Sam Laporta, elite wide receiver in Jackson Smith-Njigba, and 2 solid running backs in Chase Brown, Breece Hall. I like to go a little more balanced at this point in the year when the board falls that way as well. A little more extreme builds I'm more comfortable with as we get some more information. When free agency kicks off and the draft is underway, go a little more extreme when we have some more information. Okay, Jadarian Price. I haven't dove in too much to these rookie running backs yet. However, one thing with Jadarian Price that keeps looming in my mind is listening to Daniel Jeremiah and Bucky Brooks. They have Jadarian Price and Emmett Johnson as nearly identical prospects in their rankings. They only have 1 prospect point difference between the two, and there is a like 30 to 40 draft picks between these guys in underdog drafts. So I'm kind of leaning towards Emmett Johnson right now. I hope Blake Corum falls back to me. I love Blake Corum, although I think I'm going to look at another quarterback. Blake Corum goes to, so I'm going to take Brock Purdy, get our second quarterback. Could push, though. Could push for a Sam Darnold, but we'll go with Purdy. I haven't been able to draft too much of him, and we'll get a stack with Ricky Pearsall. Another player I would have gotten is David Montgomery. Of course, Lions player. Not even guaranteed to be on the Lions next year with the way Brad Holmes was talking. But, man, look at who the Lions play next year. Like, I'll search it up for you guys. Detroit Lions schedule 2026. Look at their opponents. So home games, we have the 3 divisional games, of course, and then New Orleans, Tampa Bay, New England, the Jets, Titans, and Giants. That's pretty good. New England defense, not bad. Tampa has its moments, but those are some solid games. Road games, divisional games, of course, and then Atlanta, who has a decent defense. Buffalo, pretty hit or miss defense, pretty shitty last year, though. Carolina, Miami, Arizona. Like, this is what we get for finishing 4th in our division. A nice cakewalk. So I think the Lions easily can win 13 games next year. Maybe 12. I'm optimistic. And I just anticipate the run game getting better, David Montgomery getting more involved. And if David Montgomery does get traded or cut, going to another team, absolute great value. He's also the number 1 handcuff in best ball. You won't change my mind. Okay, now Woody Marks. I took a look at my exposures earlier. Woody Marks is my highest drafted player. Like, in this range, no one really feels that great or stands out that much. And Woody Marks, he can just be an RB1. He really can. Right now, he is the RB1 for the Houston Texans. Kind of expect them to bring in some competition because Nick Chubb is ancient and Jawar Jordan is a practice squad player. Could bring someone in free agency, could bring someone in the draft, but regardless, Woody Marks is going to have a role. He catches passes and showed flashes as a rookie. I really think that he's getting nicked a lot right now because of his performance against the Patriots, which was absolute trash. He had like 1 or 2 yards a carry, but the Patriots had a top 3 run defense in the league last year. So, it's hard to really judge him for that. Now, if I want a third quarterback, I can go Sam Darnold to stack up with JSN. I don't think I've drafted Jalen Coker yet, but I'm going to lean towards another running back, I think. Maybe not. Emmett Johnson and Tyrone Tracy are the guys I like to draft in this range. Both of them go. Could take George Kittle as a second tight end. I think I've only drafted him like once, maybe twice. But, man, I don't really love any of these picks. So I'm just going to get a third quarterback. I would never do this in an 18-round draft in Best Ball Mania, but 20 rounds, why not? Let's just get a third quarterback. Play it a little safe. Just no one else really stands out that much. I would have taken Emmett Johnson or Tyrone Tracy if they came back, but I don't know. Receivers, I like a lot of receiver value later down the board. I really do. I think there's a ton of value. So this range of guys, I'm not drafting a ton of receivers in. Kenneth Gainwell, could be a really good value if he goes back to Pittsburgh and has a similar role as he did last year. However, Arthur Smith is no longer there. Aaron Rodgers not guaranteed to go back. Kenneth Gainwell not guaranteed to go back. So Not someone I'm going to be drafting until we get more news on him. Maybe I've drafted him like once or twice in like 50 drafts. I don't think I've drafted J.K. Dobbins or James Conner a single time yet either. I'm just like fading these old guys pretty hard. Someone who I'm not fading and drafting a ton of is Rashid Shaheed. Whether he's on the Seahawks or another team, I think that's a phenomenal value. Would have considered Dallas Goedert if he came back to us. We can still consider Brenton Strange as well and stop at 2 tight ends. Trey Benson is like, how does Arizona not bring in another running back though? Never even has done anything this season yet. I'm taking Rashid Shaheed if he's there. Trey Benson gets taken anyways, so we can get Brenton Strange, but I like tight end values later. We'll get Rashid Shaheed. Like to get 5 solid receivers, and Rashid Shaheed, really great value, I feel like. He got traded to Seattle in the middle of the season and was kind of jumping on a moving train, which makes sense for me as to why his production went way down. But when he was in New Orleans still, he was getting 4 catches a game, like every game. Can get long touchdowns, and it's just a big play waiting to happen. Gets schemed up in the run game as well. So I like that. Also, if he goes back to Seattle, another stack with Sam Darnold. Feels good for the construction of my team. Yeah. We'll see, though. We'll see if he goes back to Seattle. I'm not sure Seattle's cap space. I'm sure they're going to prioritize Kenneth Walker. Man, Malik Willis. What team do you guys think Malik Willis is going to? He's not someone I've drafted a single time yet. I want to wait to see where he's going first. His frame kind of worries me a little bit. Just a small guy. Has never been a starter for a full season. Jalen McMillan goes as well. I can see him start to rise up draft boards with the news of Mike Evans. And I've drafted a ton of him. But Malik Willis, I could see him going to the Dolphins. Could see him going to the Cardinals or Jets. Probably one of those 3. Okay, I like Josh Downs a lot, but I think I'm going to go with a running back in Jordan Mason. Yeah, let's go with the 4th running back. Let's go with the 4th running back. Could just be the RB1 in Minnesota. Aaron Jones, another just old guy that I'm fading. I'm fading these old guys right now, man. Josh Downs, though, great value. Especially with Alec Pierce likely leaving in free agency. If Alec Pierce comes back, doesn't feel as good, but Josh Downs, really nice value as well. And finally, he's going above Pat Bryant. Pat Bryant was going above him for the longest time, and I could not understand why at all. Travis Hunter, maybe the biggest question mark in drafts this year. How is he going to get used? Can he stay healthy? Reports are he's going to play more defense, but certainly get schemed up and involved on offense. However, they have Jacoby Myers now too. They have Brian Thomas, who a lot of people are expecting to take a step up. And then Parker Washington just completely broke out, who I think is Jacksonville's wide receiver 1. Personally, I think he outscores Brian Thomas. So that leaves Travis Hunter to be quite the question mark. Did we ever even find out like what happened to his knee? Because he got injured during their week 9 bye or week 8 bye, something like that, and then didn't play the rest of the season. That's like 2 months. They played in the playoffs too, so that's like 2 months Travis Hunter was just out. So clearly a serious knee injury, but I don't know if we ever actually found out the diagnosis. Zach Charbonnet too. Fuck. Serious knee injury. AJ Barner is someone I've been drafting quite a lot of. And I'm very comfortable stopping with AJ Barner and Sam Darnold as my 2 tight ends. Again, I'd rather go with the young talent in AJ Barner than old man Mark Andrews. I'm just betting on the young guys this year. It really feels like a changing of the guard in the league, in my opinion, where we're going out with one generation and the next one's going to step up. I think there's going to be a lot more stars made in the league this year with young players. So 3 quarterbacks, 2 tight ends. I'm happy with that. Going to be looking to really stack up these wide receivers in this next little range and some running backs that fall to us as well. I really like the wide receiver values later. I like taking bets on these rookies because every year, man, we see rookies that have gone undrafted or around 18, 19 just fly up draft boards. Happens every year. So I'm going to take my chances now and draft a team that I won't be able to draft in a month or 2 or later in the offseason. It's how I like to build my portfolio and get my exposure to guys. In the big board this year, I have no problem just making my bets and sticking with that. Chimere Dike, young guy, could just be a star. Now, do I want to get a running back or a receiver here? Katrin Allen, I haven't really looked into much. Kamani Vidal kind of solidified his role on the team. Chimere Dike goes, so gonna look at a running back. We don't have a rookie yet. Oh, we have Lemon. I'm gonna go with Vidal right now. Could take Katrin Allen, but he's been falling more and more quite a bit. I can definitely see the Chargers bringing in more competition to replace Vidal and complement Hampton. But right now, in February, Kamani Vidal in the 15th round feels good. So I'm going to roll with that. Now, we have 5 more picks. I'm pretty happy just getting 6 running backs on this team and then getting 4 more wide receivers. Yeah, that's what I'm going to want to do with this for sure. We'll get 1 more running back and 4 more wide receivers. Always a good idea to look at your team, think of the final structure you're going to want to go with and plan accordingly. I think it's always a smart idea. Also kind of happy I went with Sam Darnold now. I don't feel like we missed out on anyone really drafting Sam Darnold. And we have JSN, Shaheed, and AJ Barner. So making a bet on the Seahawks offense as a whole feels nice. I don't know if this guy just thinks he got a stack with Njoku and Sanders, but you didn't. I do like the value of Njoku, though. He's an old guy who I am still drafting a bit. Elijah Surratt, Isaac Tesla, Trey Tucker, I love. I'm drafting Trey Tucker if he comes back to us. Could also just get our 6th running back in a Nicholas Singleton or Tank Bigsby. But, man, I like me some Trey Tucker. Alec Almanor goes. I like me some Trey Tucker. Yeah, we're going to get Trey Tucker. Feels good as our sixth wide receiver. Instead of getting just a rookie late round guy as our sixth wide receiver, Trey Tucker proved he can get 40-point games last year with Geno Smith as his quarterback. And he's just going to be in a better offensive situation as well. Like right now, he's like the number 2 target on the team behind Brock Bowers. They're certainly bringing in a free agent wide receiver. I could definitely see them bringing in like a Romeo Dobbs or Alec Pierce. Mike Evans obviously not going to want to go there at this point in his career. Nicholas Singleton is someone who I was hoping came back to us. Tank Bigsby as well. But I like Trey Tucker. I'm going to feel good about that. Downfield threat, makes big plays, gets long touchdowns. That's the archetype we like in best ball. And in round 16, feels like a smash. Zachariah Branch is someone who I would have liked to draft as well. Okay, now looking at the running backs, they're pretty thin. No one really stands out to me too much. I might just reach up for someone to get a little different. I'm just going to reach up for a rookie. Chris Brazzell is someone who I've wanted to draft a little more. Big guy, moves well, don't have a lot of him, can just rise up draft boards. And in these last 4 rounds, ADP does not matter whatsoever. It really doesn't, especially in February. That feels good. Now, one other pick who I'm trying to get in every draft right now is Malachi Fields. In Daniel Jeremiah's recent mock draft that I think came out today, he has Malachi Fields going pick 26 to the Buffalo Bills, the first round, ahead of Casey Concepcion, who is going 100 picks higher in ADP. He's someone I can definitely see just shooting up draft boards, and I want to get my exposure to him now while he's cheap. I don't think I need to take him with my next pick. I think I can push it one. Might go with a Brashard Smith with my next pick. Do you guys have any rookie running backs who stand out to you in these late rounds? Because I don't know any of them that well, and I would like to mix in some of them as well. Okay, Brashard Smith gets taken. Also, Caleb Johnson could be an absolute nothing. Could be something. I think I am just going to take Fields with my next pick, though. Mike the GOAT Washington Jr. All right, buddy. We'll cue him up. Maybe I'll look into Mike Washington Jr. He passes the name check. First thing I always do with these rookies, they have to pass the name check. Is it going to sound good from a commentator? Is it going to look good on a jersey? Mike Washington Jr., sick name. We're going to go Malachi Fields first. Also Stowers, Eli Stowers, a name that has been hot lately, and I don't have a single share of yet. So someone I want to mix in as well, but just didn't work on this team. But I like getting 2 of these rookies at the end of drafts. Chris Brazzell and Malachi Fields. Feels good getting these rookies. We don't have any rookie running backs yet, but we're going to go with Mike the GOAT Washington Jr. next. So get a share of him. I think I've drafted him a few times. I like to just take my shots on these guys, not knowing where they're going to go. Pat Freiermuth. Pat Freiermuth feels like a good value. Also a nice back stack with Aaron Rodgers if you want a third quarterback. Also, for the people watching, someone who's not getting drafted at all, who I think is worth mentioning is Calvin Austin. Calvin Austin, I don't think I've seen anyone draft him except myself. And a backstack with Aaron Rodgers, that feels good. They're almost certainly bringing in wide receiver competition, but he's going to have his role as a field stretcher, kind of similar to Trey Tucker, where he can just get big plays, long touchdowns, and he's trusted by Aaron Rodgers. Also, just unique because he's not getting drafted. So, Mike Washington Jr., the GOAT, on the team. Welcome. Now, gonna either look at a wide receiver or possibly a tight end. If Jake Tongas is still available, he might just be the pick because we have Brock Purdy and we can just hedge that. Oh, never mind. He goes. But we could have just taken the chance that George Kittle not going to be completely healthy. And you know what? I feel like doing a second draft. It's a little late, but I'm going to do a second draft because I'm having fun and I feel like it. Waiting for one more person. So that one will get going as soon as we're done this one. Hopefully it goes a little quick though. I got to be up at like 5 a.m. But I'm having fun. Now, we already have 3 rookie wide receivers, so I don't necessarily want to take another one. Can go with a more veteran player, not Cooper Kupp level veteran, but Christian Kirk is someone who I've mixed in quite a bit. He's younger than you think. Christian Kirk is 29. Not a bad play. Or could go with another running back, take someone like Jaden Blue, just for the potential upside. I think I might just take Christian Kirk on this team. Kind of feels like a Christian Kirk type team. Since we got young guys near the end, we can get a veteran to hold that room down. Jeremy Bernard, however you say that. I'm not sure if I drafted him yet. Someone I want to mix in. But, oh, he gets taken, so we don't get the chance anyways. I'll take Christian Kirk. Get a veteran in this room. He even played well in the playoffs, had his injuries last year, still had good reports in camp. So let's check where we are in that other draft. 7 picks away. Okay. We'll go over this one quickly. Our final team, we got a 3-6-9-2 with Jalen Hurts, Brock Purdy, Sam Darnold holding it down at quarterback. Very strong quarterback room. Chase Brown, Breece Hall, Woody Marks, Jordan Mason, Kamani Vidal, and Mike the GOAT Washington Jr. Nice running back room with upside as well. JSN, Devonta Smith, Mekhi Lemon, Ricky Pearsall, Rashid Shaheed, Trey Tucker, Chris Brazzell II, Mekhi Lemon, Christian Kirk as our wide receivers. I like it. Sam Laporta, AJ Barner, 2 guys with a ton of upside at tight end holding it down. That feels good to me. I like that team quite a bit. Oh, we're at the turn. Pick 12. Interesting. Please give me St. Brown. Please. 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 I'm asking nicely. Please, AK. You're teasing me so hard right now. Don't let it go all the way down. Oh, baby. We get St. Brown. Now, I don't like Achane, but I'm kind of tempted to draft him just for the unique combination. Because I don't see St. Brown and Achane go together a ton. So, fuck it. We'll do that. I've looked earlier today, and I've only drafted Achane once. So our exposure is still quite low. Someone I want to mix in. And when I'm mixing in players who I'm not super high on this year, if I can get it with a unique combination, that's when I want to do it. Yeah, I like that. Now, while we're waiting, I kind of want to show you guys this team I drafted the other day. I don't remember if this was on stream or not. Oh, it was. I wrote streamed. But This might be my favorite draft that I've done so far. We got Jaden Daniels and Tyler Shuck as our quarterbacks. Running backs, we went with 7. Josh Jacobs, Blake Corum, Woody Marks, Tyrone Tracy, Rashad White, Jaden Blue, and Brashard Smith. So anchor running back in Josh Jacobs, a lot of upside and good situations with the rest of our picks. Wide receivers, we have Puka Nakua, Terry McLaurin stacked with Jaden Daniels, Carnell Tate, Marvin Harrison, who fell all the way to 75, Michael Pittman Jr., Jalen McMillan, who fell to 166, Trey Harris, Zachariah Branch, and Malachi Fields, with Brock Bowers and Juwan Johnson as their tight ends. I love that team because it's hard to get a good elite tight end team, I've been finding. Getting a good team with Brock Bowers or Trey McBride feels a little tough at this point in the season just because getting 3 or 4 tight ends late feels nice and there's value later in the draft. But getting a really good team with Brock Bowers, that just feels like a great team. So I just wanted to show that off again real quick. I like this guy's strategy too. Chris King, I like going 3 straight running backs in the big board. Just with the uncertainty at running back right now, free agency hasn't happened. The draft hasn't happened. We don't know where a lot of these late round guys are going to go or where the value is at. So getting those running backs early and getting the wide receiver values late, like I mentioned in the last draft, feels pretty good to me. And that's something I actually did in a bigger board draft the other day as well. And maybe I'll pull that up again too, because we have a lot of time between picks. 2 picks away now. I really like the receivers at this turn a lot. Kyren Williams, Travis Etienne don't feel that great to me right here. But A.J. Brown, T. Higgins, Garrett Wilson, J-Mo, like, come on now. Give me 2 of those guys, and I am very happy. AK, taking it down to the clock again, teasing us. So we'll take T. Higgins, and then Garrett Wilson or Jameson Williams. Garrett Wilson, more talented. J-Mo, we can pair up with St. Brown. I literally named my cat after Jameson Williams. So I'm going to draft J-Mo in this draft. Lions bias all the way. But one of my cats, his name is No Prob Waymo, named after Waymo, Jameson Williams' nickname. And then I made it into a pun, No Prob Waymo. Sick name. Love me some J-Mo. Let's take a look at this bigger board. I've actually done 3 already, but I got a ton of like free bonus funds from Underdog when they had 25% deposit matches and kind of hit on some basketball pick'ems as well. I did all of these at work as well. Hit on some basketball pick'ems with boosts, which gave me more free money that was going to expire. So get some free bigger boards. Why not? This is the team where I drafted 3 straight running backs. I decided to go Derrick Henry over Chase Brown in this one, mainly because in the last one, I drafted Chase Brown over Derrick Henry. So I just wanted to switch it up a little bit. Hey, Chris King, I think we're drafting with you right now, buddy. What's up, dude? But Gibbs, Henry, Jacobs. Then we went 4 straight receivers in Terry, Carnell Tate, Marvin Harrison, and Parker Washington. I like those 4 receivers a ton. 2 quarterbacks in Brock Purdy, Jared Goff. Woody Marks, who my highest drafted player. Jake Ferguson, solid tight end. Romeo Dobbs, Josh Downs, Shimray DK, Trey Harris, Malachi Fields. A lot of rookie or young players with upside. Just how I like to be drafting this year. And then 4 tight ends. Jake Ferguson, Theo Johnson, Jake Tongas, and Chig Okonkwo. I like it. We also drafted Aaron Rodgers. I was hoping that Pat Freiermuth would fall back to us, but he didn't. We got a little unlucky there. And I was debating on drafting Jonnu Smith or Darnell Washington just to get a stack with Aaron Rodgers, but I went with Chigo Okonkwo instead because I just didn't want to force it. And I think Chigo Okonkwo is just a better player who's going to get more points. And it's the bigger board. It's a small field contest. Don't need to get too unique. I think it's only a 23-person final, so we'll just get more talent. But I like getting those solid running backs. And then in that one, we only went with 4. We went with Hyper Fragile because why not? Just try it out. I didn't feel like the value was really there at other points in the draft where we were picking. So I just leaned into the guys that I already had. Okay, Marvin Harrison gets pulled up. Okay, this guy's getting a little unique, but yeah, I don't know about this because Igbuka, I have no problem pulling Igbuka up, especially over these other guys. However, Marvin Harrison, constantly available in the 6th round. I even got him in the 7th round, as I showed in that other draft I did. So getting, unless he goes with another guy that's different, I don't know. Not my favorite. Okay, we're on the board again. Can get Christian Watson to be a little different. I'm going to draft Joe Burrow to get a quarterback to stack with T. Higgins. And man, it's a weird range. But I'm going to get a little different, get a little unique, and pull up Parker Washington. Put my money where my mouth is, you know? I was just saying, I think Parker Washington finishes with more points than Brian Thomas. So I'm going to draft like that. Plus, he's not falling back to pick 84. Maybe in like the first week of this contest, but he's never falling back to pick 84. So this is how I like to get unique. Not necessarily getting Marvin Harrison just like 10 picks before he goes. We're at the turn. We're pulling up a guy who goes at the other turn. So it's a nice way to get a little different and unique. Joe Burrow also just feels like one of the best values in that range, especially when so many quarterbacks are going. Drake May, I don't think I've drafted a single time yet. I just think he's going to keep falling. I could not believe that he was going in the 4th round when this contest first opened. That baffled me. And thankfully, I was right about him falling. Also, believe it or not, Kyle Pitts was going in the 4th round when these drafts first opened. And I could not believe that either. I have mixed in Kyle Pitts now that his ADP has settled in the 8th round. But man, I could not believe he was going that high. Yeah, Drake May keeps falling, especially after that performance in the Super Bowl and playoffs in general when he was actually playing good defenses. Also, I haven't looked at who's the Patriots are going to be playing next year, but they finished top of their division. They're going to have the toughest opponents. It's one blessing about the Lions finishing 4th in their division this year is they're going to have an easy schedule because of it. And I'm here for it. Absolutely just smashing the Lions this year. Pause. Man, Alec Pierce was also going in the 5th round when this opened. Another pick who I was like, what the fuck? Bayshell 2 I think he's going to fall a ton after free agency because I think Jacksonville either re-signs Travis Etienne or brings in another running back. It's hard for me to believe that Bayshell Tutin's just going to be the RB1. And he's kind of being drafted like that's where he's going to go. Now, if Trevor Lawrence falls to us, I'll probably take him, even though I would kind of like to get Goff in the next round instead. But when we drafted Parker Washington, we got a little unique. So getting a stack with Trevor Lawrence will also be unique. In a contest this big, that's valuable. Now, he gets taken. What the fuck is this guy doing? 2 quarterbacks, 4 running backs, and Rome Odunze. Is he on auto? Are you on auto, buddy? Because if not, you need some help. Now, I'm tempted to just take my guy Laporta and go with the Omega line stack. But I'm going to take Tucker Kraft. Fuck, man. I'm so tempted to just double up on tight end right here. None of the running backs look too great. I'm kind of really tempted just to double up. But I like the values later too. Whatever. Let's get a little different. We'll get 2 tight ends right now. Why not? We're getting a little different. We're leaning into Achane. So I don't like Achane this year, but if I'm wrong, then this is a good team to be wrong about Achane with. Just have him as our hero running back. And Tucker Kraft, Sam Laporta, 2 solid tight ends. Feels fine to me. Cue up Jared Goff. Unless the Gibbs team cucks us by wanting to stack Goff with him, I'm sure he will fall to the next round. And yeah, we're going to need some serious help at running back on this team. Maybe it was a mistake going with 2 tight ends there because I love the value of tight ends later. But I also want to just, mix things up. I'm most likely going to be maxing this contest anyways. So getting some different builds doesn't feel bad. And yeah, I feel really comfortable at quarterback, feel very comfortable at receiver, very comfortable at tight end. And we're going to take our shots at running back. Mike the GOAT Washington Jr., welcome to the team later in the draft, buddy. Almost certainly. Okay. And, we're going to be drafting David Montgomery too if he comes back to us. I'm just not going to be able to stop myself. Do you think Patrick Mahomes is going to be ready for the start of the year? I personally think so because he is a psychopath in the most complimentary way. Just absolute animal competitor. Got hurt like week 15 though, but we've seen guys come back from ACL injuries faster and faster. Like Christian Watson is a really good example last year. I was pretty baffled when he came back as early as he did and performed as well as he did. So makes a great case for ACL injuries. However, someone like Zach Charbonnet, who got injured in January, like that's a little tougher. Plus, it's a running back. He wasn't the most shifty or explosive guy as it is, but can still take away touchdowns from Kenneth Walker. Probably. Now, we're hoping some running back value falls to us. The guy who took Gibbs didn't go ahead and take Goff, so I'm sure he's going to be available. And then I'm probably just going to be done at 2 quarterbacks with Goff and Burrow, unless we want to get someone like Aaron Rodgers late. We'll see how the draft board falls. Hopefully none of these guys go Demo. I would really like David Montgomery. We also just need running back pretty desperately. And then cross our fingers and hope that these guys fall back to us as well. I find myself drafting a ton of the same players at this point in the year, but I don't care. I'm going to lean into it. I have all off season to draft and smooth my exposures out a little bit. Wow, Tyler Shuck gets pulled all the way up. This guy, what the fuck is this guy doing? Seriously. Thank you for your donation. Him so smart. Him so dumb, honestly. Okay, we get our guys. We're going to get Goff. We're going to get Demo. No need to hesitate. And now we just cross our fingers that more running backs fall back to us. Yeah. But let's take a look at this guy's team. Him so smart. Your name is not True. You have 3 quarterbacks, Jackson Dart, Trevor Lawrence, and Tyler Shuck. You have 4 running backs, James Cook, Omarion Hampton, Travis Etienne, and Cam Scatabo, and 3 receivers in Romo Dunze, Quentin Johnson, and Jordan Addison. In no world should QJ be your wide receiver 2. Like, ever. What are you doing, buddy? Change your name. Please change your name. Do you even have stacks? You have Jackson Dart stacked with Cam Scatabo, Trevor Lawrence stacked with Travis Etienne, and Tyler Shuck unstacked, who you reached 13 picks on. Interesting. But thank you for your donation. We appreciate that. We need you. We need more people like him. That might be mean, but it's true. Okay. We all know it. Cam Scatabo, also a guy who I haven't drafted yet. Speaking of injuries, like, man, he got injured last year. He has youth on his side, but he got a compound fracture of his tibia. A compound fracture is when it breaks through the skin, and he broke his tibia. That's the big bone in your lower leg, not your fibula, your tibia. Like, and I think he dislocated his ankle as well. Like, that is horrific. And not the most explosive guy as it is. So, like, man, I have a really hard time drafting Scatabo right now. Even when he's fallen in the 5th round, it's so hard for me to click. He's someone I just expect to fall further and further as the offseason goes on. We see it every offseason where there's overly optimistic reports on these injured guys. We saw it last year with Chris Godwin and Brandon Ayuk. Stephon Diggs, like, his optimistic injury report did turn out to be true, though. He was ready. I believe it was week 1. But, man, Scatabo, not the fastest guy, not the most explosive or shifty. Was good at, like, breaking tackles and, like, running through brick walls. But, man, that's just tough. Kind of just won on, like, touchdowns and game script as well. You know, like, he got more dump offs with other quarterbacks than he did with Jackson Dart. Just not my favorite. I'm much happier betting on Tyrone Tracy. Emmett Johnson is starting to rise more and more, I feel like. I actually have a draft where I got Emmett Johnson 33 picks past ADP at pick 166, I'm pretty sure, which I was so stoked about. I think it was my first time drafting him too, but getting exposure like that feels phenomenal. Brenton Strange. So, man, are we going to get Woody Marks and Tyrone Tracy? I will be so stoked about that if we do. Come on, AK. This guy loves to just tease me. He loves to just take it down to the wire. Fuck. He takes Tracy. But, hey, we get Woody Marks. I'm pretty pumped about that. Now, I haven't drafted a lot of Kenneth Gainwell, as I was talking about last draft. But when we are desperate for running back, I might just do that because I can get some wide receiver values later. I don't feel like we need to reach up for like a Romeo Dobbs or Rashid Shaheed. And Kenneth Gainwell is younger than J.K. Dobbins and James Conner. So I'm just going to do that. Again, not my favorite pick, but on a team like this, I don't mind it. So we have a 2-4-4-2 team with Joe Burrow, Jared Goff, Achane, David Montgomery, Woody Marks, Kenneth Gainwell, Amon-Ra St. Brown, T. Higgins, Jameson Williams, Parker Washington, with Tucker Kraft and Sam Laporta as our tight ends. This could very well be a 2-8-8-2 team because I'm very comfortable with our 2 quarterbacks. I'm very comfortable with our 2 tight ends. We're going to want a lot of running backs. We're going to want a lot of receivers always in a 20-round draft. So that might be the way we go here and just get volume at those other positions. I'm kind of actually liking how this is turning out. I'm very happy that we got Woody Marks to fall to us. I feel like I've drafted him in like every draft. Actually, I checked my exposures this morning. I have drafted him in literally 50% of my drafts. More so now that we got him in our last draft and this one. But like, man, right now, it's hard to poke holes in that value, at least for me. Like, obviously, the Texans' offense was trash, and they've left a really bad taste in people's mouth with their final performance. But it's hard to imagine their offensive line is worse this upcoming year. I can see them just spending in free agency or draft picks to improve that. Their defense really doesn't need any help. They're one of the best defenses in recent memory. Their receiver room is really good with Nico Collins, Jaden Higgins, Jalen Noel, Tank Dell coming back from injury, most likely as well. So I feel like they're just going to put all the resources into offensive line, which is just going to help Woody Marks. With that defense, too, like game script goes in Woody Marks' favor. Even if they bring in competition, he's going to have a role regardless. And drafting him in that range when he's going close to like Trey Benson and J.K. Dobbins, like, come on now. What are we doing? Let's take a look at the draft board or upcoming players. We're going to queue up Jalen McMillan because I love him. Jordan Mason will queue up as well. Running back I like in this range. Like, I just have a hard time clicking these old guys, man. James Conner, Alvin Kamara, injured Zach Charbonnet, injury-prone Tajay Spears, who also plays on the Titans. I mix Tajay Spears in. I like him, but like Braylon Allen, what are we doing, man? One, you play for the Jets. I mean, I guess the bull case for Braylon Allen is he's the RB1 if Breece Hall goes, but it's hard to imagine they don't bring in any competition if Breece Hall does depart. I might even just go with 2 running backs. You know, if James Conner falls 20 picks past ADP, I'll take him. Again, similar to HN, if we can get a unique combination and these guys way past ADP, that's when I want to mix them in. He gets taken anyways, so we won't get the opportunity. Aaron Jones, a veteran. Like, man, we just see so many guys fall off a cliff completely. We do still only have 4 wide receivers, but our 4 wide receivers are also really good. You know, Travis Hunter. Yeah, I'm going to take Travis Hunter. Upside case is there. I'm just going to do that. Get some Jacksonville correlation as well with Parker Washington. Always a good thing. Yeah, that feels nice. We get Travis Hunter, 10 picks past ADP. Correlates with Parker Washington. Oh, we have 2 teammates now. St. Brown, JMO, Parker Washington, Travis Hunter. Maybe that doesn't feel the best because we only have 5 wide receivers and 4 of them are on 2 different teams. But we're going to be drafting at least 8, possibly 9. We're either going to get 7 or 8 running backs and 8 or 9 receivers. I'm pretty sure I'm just going to lean into these 2 quarterbacks and 2 tight ends. Definitely the 2 tight ends, but probably the 2 quarterbacks as well. Jonathan Brooks, another guy who hasn't done anything in the league yet, but could just come out of nowhere and be a league winner. I think I've only drafted him once or twice, though. Literally has like 10 yards in the league, and he's going into his 3rd season. Doesn't feel the best to me. running backs in this range, man, they just don't feel that good right now. Um, hmm. Could look at some of these more veteran wide receivers on a team like this where we only have 5 going into round 15 and 16. I don't know if I can click Calvin Ridley. What was his injury? Fibula? Is Calvin Ridley a free agent? I don't know. Running back, wide receiver. Let's take a look. This might be a team actually where we take a chance on Tank Dell because his upside is all the way there. If he can actually stay healthy, although he's like 112 pounds. Katrin Allen, once again, falling. As he continues to fall, I'm not sure if I'm going to draft him. Could look again at Kamani Vidal. Trey Harris is a pick I like as well. Nicholas Singleton, a rookie that I like. Kamani Vidal goes. Katrin Allen or Nicholas Singleton. I'm going to go Tank Dell because on a team like this, correlates with Woody Marks as well. That's kind of a team where I like to take a chance on him. And I think I want to go another running back before a receiver. So let's let fate decide. We're just going to shuffle these guys and see which one goes. We're going to see who gets taken. Katrin Allen or Nicholas Singleton. And Nicholas Singleton it is. Fate has it that we take Nicholas Singleton this draft. So be it. Yeah, I think I might be comfortable stopping with 7 and going with 9 receivers. Although we still have really high-end receiver talents. We'll see the values. We'll see what values are there and draft accordingly. Tank Bigsby could have been worth taking just on the chance that Saquon gets hurt and he can be a league winner. But getting a rookie feels nice too. So since we're at the turn, we're going to be drafting back-to-back again. The one guy I want in every draft right now, Malachi Fields. Going to queue him up. Mike the Goat Washington Jr. He is the player of the night. I'm going to look into him more tomorrow with this positive talk on him. But I don't know if we need to draft him with our next pick. I might try and push him to the final turn. We'll see what comes, though. See, Katrin Allen's just falling hard, man. Pick 192 now. The reason I like Nicholas Singleton more is, again, Bucky Brooks came out with his top 5 running backs, and he had Nicholas Singleton at number 5 ahead of Katrin Allen. And not like Bucky Brooks and Daniel Jeremiah are the end-all be-all, but these guys have been around the league for a long, long time. And before they were employed by the NFL, they were NFL scouts. They know players, they know talent, and there's some people that I'm going to listen to as far as where they have guys. Speaking of Bucky Brooks, he has Zachariah Branch as his number 4 receiver. Or number 5. And Chris Brazzell is the other number 4, was number 5. Damn, KG Alind. You took our dude. You took our goat. What the heck, man? Okay, Trey Harris, if he comes back to me, I cannot pass up on him. I cannot pass up on him at all. AK, you keep fucking doing this to me, man. You keep cucking me. He couldn't pass up either. Dang. That sucks. Brashard Smith is someone I keep finding myself drafting. Like, it feels, regardless, like he's just going to have a role in Kansas City. Proved he can make plays as a pass catcher. And the Kansas City offense as a whole was just pretty trash last year, too. So if he gets 3 catches a game to 5 catches a game, absolute smash at ADP. And if he can break a couple long touchdowns in the season, very good pick. Even if they end up drafting Jeremiah Love, who can catch passes as well, Brashard Smith feels like he's going to have a role. Like right now, his competition is free agent. Like Kareem Hunt's a free agent, and he's like 86 years old. Isaiah Pacheco, he's Isaiah Pacheco, man. He's had his moment. We'll let a fellow 7th-round pick replace him. Yeah, I find myself drafting Brashard Smith quite a bit. Now, we have 7 running backs and 7 receivers. Do I want 9 receivers or do I want an 8th running back? We have Achane, David Montgomery, Woody Marks, Kenneth Gainwell, Jordan Mason, Nicholas Singleton, and Brashard Smith. Like, that's fine for 7. And St. Brown, T. Higgins, Jameson Williams, Parker Washington, Travis Hunter, Tank Dell, Malachi Fields as our receivers. Since this is the big board, I think I want to lean into the receivers a little more. We can draft Jalen Noel as well and just go with like a bunch of teammates. St. Brown, JMO, Parker Washington, Travis Hunter, Tank Dell, Jalen Noel. Just get some teammates. That correlation's always good. Momo, leave Dan alone. Hey, leave your brother alone. Thank you, buddy. The kitties are being little rascals again. I don't know if you guys can see that, but these kitties are such little rascals. Are you coming to say hello? No. You can go get some water. Man, I love drafting with my cats in the background. I don't know if it's distracting or not, but I don't care. I love it. My other cat's name is Dan. His full name is East Van Dan because I live in East Vancouver. And he's named after Dan Campbell. Yeah. I got one cat named after Dan Campbell and another one named after Jameson Williams. Dan and Waymo. Momo for short. Yeah. That's what's up. I think I'm going to go with these receivers. Jaden Blue is someone I've started to mix in a little bit lately. Just because, like, we don't know what's happening with the Dallas running back room. So, Chris Brazzell, someone I've been wanting to get. Jalen Noel, teammate with Tank Dell. Like 3 Houston players is quite a bit, but when we're drafting these guys super late, who cares? We're just making a bet that they're going to be better than ADP says. So that's going to do it for our team. We finished with Joe Burrow and Jared Goff as our quarterbacks. Devon Achane, David Montgomery, Woody Marks, Kenneth Gainwell, Jordan Mason, Nicholas Singleton, and Brashard Smith as our 7 running backs. Achane, not my favorite player, but if we're wrong, it's a good team to be wrong about him on. St. Brown, T. Higgins, JMO, Parker Washington, Travis Hunter, Tank Dell, Malachi Fields, Chris Brazzell, Jalen Noel as our 9 wide receivers. A lot of teammate correlation. 2 Lions receivers, 2 Jags receivers, 2 Texans receivers, and then 2 rookies as well. I like it. And then absolute smash stud tight ends, Tucker Kraft, Sam Laporta. So I actually do kind of like how this team turned out. Drafting a little differently as far as our structure goes, but I like it. A little different. got good players that we like as well. So, yeah, that's going to do it for us. So, thank you guys so much for watching and tuning in. I appreciate you guys liking the stream and subscribing, showing up. I had a lot of fun tonight. Come back tomorrow. I love you. Joy is beautiful. End stream.